Okay, we're live. Testing, testing. Today on Quality Time with Family Ties, we learn Matchmaker, matchmaker, write me a script.
And in 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, welcome to Quality Time with Family Ties. I am one of your hosts, Scott Jones. Joining us as always, Mr. Paul Packler all the way in New York. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. How you doing all the way out in California, Scott Jones?
Doing all right. Doing all right. Corey, how are you doing?
I'm fine, Scott Jones. I'm pretty good too, Paul Packler.
All right. I'm glad, Corey Pepper and Paul Packler, I'm glad you guys are doing well.
I'll be speaking most of the evening in this voice, just to irritate everyone.
Well, this is my on-the-spot live recording voice.
I've been listening to a lot of Sirius Satellite XM this past weekend, and so it was a lot of DJs.
Ah, yes. DJs, you say?
What were they talking about, Paul?
Well, you know what was funny is that Cousin Brucey still has a show.
Cousin Bruce Morrow?
Yeah.
Cousin Brucey had a connection to my Uncle Stanley, who ran a big Jew summer camp up in the Catskills.
Oh my gosh!
And so every summer, my uncle, who was a high school teacher, so this was a perfect job, he helped to run a camp, a big Jew camp. I have to reiterate, it was a big Jew camp in the Catskills.
Is that what it was called, Big Jew Camp?
Oh, yeah, it was called Camp Swago was the boys' camp, and Camp Swatona was the girls' camp.
Ooh.
And every year, they took Uncle Brucey out of his coffin, and they put him at camp, and he entertained us playing like hot hits of the 1970s and 80s.
Wow.
Cousin Bruce.
So you lived the what's it called? Dirty Dancing life. You went up to the Catskills for camps in the summer.
Well, yeah, except the only year I ever went up to camp. I didn't go to camp. My uncle Stanley did. My brother went many years. He was a counselor. But I only went one year, and the only year I went was the summer of 1969, which just so happens to mean I was right at about 20 minutes away from Woodstock.
Wow!
Wow.
When it was happening, were you up there that weekend?
Yes, we were still there.
Holy shit!
Wow. That's amazing.
I remember there being a lot more traffic in our small, tiny town that we would walk to flirt with girls and buy gum.
Hopefully not in that order. Hopefully you got the gum first.
You want to see the gum.
Girls were way more important than the gum.
Well, everybody, if you're playing along at home with us, we are on Season 4, Episode 7, My Tutor. And we are going to be beating a dead horse because, once again, one of the Keaton kids is going to have a crush, a love interest. Like, over half the episodes so far have involved this topic.
It's hard to believe that they keep on going hard after. Now, of course, we've got Ellen. We have Nick. We had the boy that she had a protected school. I forget his name. And now we have Eugene. And now Eugene, of course, she does not have a crush. Jennifer does not have a crush on Eugene. It's Eugene that does not just have a crush. He falls instantly under her hypnotic spell.
Those words have never been said and will never be said again about Jennifer Keaton.
Absolutely, but he fell instantly under her hypnotic spell. Now, we could toss this around for a half hour. What hypnotic spell? But that's all right. He didn't seem to really have he seemed to be immature. That seemed to be his big problem, maturity.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
we've buried the lead a little bit, guys.
Right.
Jennifer so far has been in love with Atreyu, a Tiger Beat icon for the ages.
Yeah.
And in today's episode,
Oh my goodness.
rebuffed the advances of River Phoenix.
And this is a pre-Stand By Me, River Phoenix, by 1 year.
Yep.
I was going to say he looked a little bit young.
Yep, it was
Yeah.
85 was this episode, and Stand By Me was 86.
So do you
And-
think he was
And then
filming
his
it around this time?
death was somewhere around 89 or 90.
Right.
Right. And I gotta say, as great an actor as River Phoenix was, he is not a sitcom actor, I don't think.
Well, he definitely plays it with great commitment. He's very earnest,
Yeah.
very
Mhm.
committed. And what happens is you take that performance and you put that together with writers who occasionally are lazy and forget to write jokes, and then you have a very dull sort of one flatlining script, which is what this was. Not a lot of really highlighted jokes.
If this episode were, say, partying at a club in Sunset Strip, it would flatline on the street outside said club.
Paul, it's too soon! Too soon!
I was waiting. How many Viper Club references can we get in?
We're just getting started. But let's talk about what's happening at the beginning of this episode, all right? So Steven is at the table doing the budget for the family with an ancient adding machine and one of those little green tax visors that accountants wear.
God bless them for bringing out the old-timey props. But
Oh, God.
was that necessary?
No, not even for 1985.
I mean, it's so old-fashioned that even Alex P. Keaton calls them out and says, "Dad, where the hell did you get this from? The museum or whatever?"
And
Right.
is our B plot that we live with, and they're pretty consistent with doling us little dollops of the B plot, except they sort of end it with sort of a loose string, never really wrapping it up, just yet another scene late in the show, but it doesn't really wrap anything up. Out of nowhere it came, and out of nowhere it will go. The Keatons appear to be having budgetary problems.
Right.
That's the B plot.
Well, Elise isn't, working at the architect firm anymore, it looks like, so... Yeah.
And apparently, when having a family meeting about budget and how the family should try and cut back, only Mallory was needed at that family meeting because Alex and Jennifer were on their double date.
That's right.
But we'll get to that in the second act. I'm once again getting ahead of myself.
Right. But yeah, Corey, you're right. The Keatons are having some budget issues. Steven's kind of putting his foot down on some of the finer expenditures. Mallory comes in from the shower complaining about the generic shampoo. And I kind of liked the reaction she had when it's like, look, when they handed her the shampoo, she's like, no, like she recoiled in horror. I thought it was really funny.
Yeah.
But also in this scene, we discover that Alex is needing a tutor for his geometry class.
Yeah, is that what I missed? What type of math he was having trouble with? Did they ever say what it was?
It was Euclidean geometry. Is that it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I stopped taking math after geometry, so.
Yeah.
No, I was
It's-
serious because it was like it's this whole episode. There's no logic to it at all. They're constantly like the stuff that we know about a certain character. They're just like, the hell with it. Someone says something in the first scene, and then they contradict it in the third scene, and it's just like nothing makes sense.
It was very sloppily written, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Alex wants a tutor because he has an 89 in the class and wants to bring it up to an A, a 90, that 1 point. So he is referred to a tutor by his teacher, and we meet Eugene, played by River Phoenix, who is a 13-year-old child prodigy.
Eugene. Oh, go ahead, Corey.
they wrote a lot of stuff for him to say. They gave him a lot of backstory because he mutters monologues quite often. In one of his immature little things, he's just, I'm just rattling off. I'm obsessing about myself and the life, and it's not so easy being a genius and having all these thoughts in my brain. My brain. You want to see a picture of my brain? I've got my brain, and you're Alex, and I'm me, and Alex. He's very angsty for a 13-year-old. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Corey, that was brilliant.
Wow. The
That
Emmy
was...
Award goes to Corey Pepper as River Phoenix.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, you're right, Corey. Yeah, they do give him a lot to do. I always find like these characters really creepy from the get-go. Like their lack of like social development, it just creeps me out.
How many characters that we pointed out would now be considered somewhere on the spectrum?
On this show, a lot. And
A lot. I mean, like regularly, Skippy is on the spectrum somewhere, but tonight Eugene is somewhere. I mean, what kind of immature? Although I think it probably makes a lot more sense for a 13-and-a-half-year-old genius to have maturity issues, and I think that sounds pretty real. That he feels that because he's going to school with grown-ups, that he needs to act like a grown-up and that he can't let his hair down and act like a kid, which was basically Jennifer's whole point.
right.
Right. And when Eugene comes over, that's what we essentially what we find out. That I mean, really, the scene is, you just summed it up, Corey. Is like, yeah, he doesn't have any friends. He's lonely. The idea of dating a girl can't even cross his mind. He can't even fathom that. And so as him and Alex are working on the math problems, Jennifer enters, and Corey, like you said, he is instantly obsessed.
He's obsessed with her. And now that is, we who watch the show regularly, we admit that we think that Tina Yothers is a fine actress who could deliver a comedy line very well. And I think probably we're not the only ones to acknowledge that she's going through a relatively awkward phase, as a lot of teenagers do. And it's sort of weird because here's sort of River Phoenix, who looks pretty damn perfect, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Falling instantly, not just in love, but hypnotized under this minx's trance. Wasn't putting out any of that. It wasn't like she was trying.
And Paul, you hit on something earlier. For going through an awkward phase, Tina Yothers is doing pretty well. She's had Atreyu and River Phoenix.
That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
I mean, she's doing pretty good.
I mean, most girls in 1985 would cut off both of their arms to be with one of those guys.
Absolutely.
And she got both of them in the same season. Good for you, Tina Yothers.
Good
go,
for
girl.
you, Tina Yothers.
She's the Lena Dunham of Family Ties. But without the
ass raping.
Right.
And the problematic racism. She doesn't have that either.
Right. The self-entitlement.
Yeah. Now, a quick thing. Before, when Alex and River Phoenix are like sort of dick measuring of who's smarter, Alex goes and quickly pours himself an orange juice.
God bless him. And not, I'm once again foreshadowing, the only orange juice of this episode.
No, because then when Jennifer comes in and starts getting knocked on her heels by River Phoenix, she goes for the solace of orange juice too.
God knows, for me, I always think orange juice irritates my gastrointestinal system. But for them, orange juice is like fucking Xanax. It like, man, makes me feel good about this.
It's gonna be nice and chill. They'll feel so much better after a big glass of orange juice.
And I'd be burping the rest of the scene. I'd be going. I'd just be bringing up gas the rest of the time. That's what citrus does to me.
Now, the thing we know about Family Ties as a show is that it became the #2 show in America when it was behind The Cosby Show, Are we to assume that maybe Cosby was by the set and kept putting things in the orange juice, and that's why they've become addicted to orange juice?
They filmed on different coasts, Paul.
Ah, crap.
It was a good theory, Paul. It was a good theory.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah. So the first thing Eugene does to greet Jennifer is grab her hand and delicately kiss it and say, "Enchanted."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jennifer is immediately creeped out by Eugene.
And well, she should. He's weird.
Yeah, he's weird. He's really weird.
He does dress in Argyle very much like her brother, so she should be relatively comfortable with his fashion choices.
That's
Right.
true.
I think she's fine with that. I think it's just Eugene. I mean, the man gives her an X-ray of his brain later on, with no explanation of why he chooses that for a gift. But yeah, so Eugene once Jennifer leaves, creeped out by Eugene, and Eugene talks to Alex about Jennifer. We cut to the next day in the living room, and Alex is frustrated because Eugene has been so obsessed with Jennifer, and this is where he gives her the X-ray of the brain, that they can't even work on math problems. He's not going to get that point.
Yeah, so they quickly established that a week has passed, I think, and so for Alex, I would say, if this is such a problem for your studying and you're paying this kid to tutor you, and he's been coming for a week and you know that this is the situation, go somewhere else. Why is this 13-year-old expected to, like, transport himself to your house?
Yeah. They both go to the college. There's no place at the college.
There appears to be only one restaurant in Dayton, Ohio, for the same irrational reason.
Let's be honest, guys. The moment you saw that there was going to be a double date, you expected the Guido set to pop up, right?
Absolutely. I was disappointed when it wasn't.
No? Paul says no?
No, I'm saying I was shocked. I was literally shocked.
I was like, they're going to go to Guido's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So. Oh,
another question, Scott, if I can.
Please.
An X-ray of your brain. Would
Uh-huh.
you want a CAT scan of your brain?
Well, I don't believe there were CAT scans at that time. I just don't think there were.
Okay.
You have to look it up. But that's what I thought. I heard X-ray too, and I thought, that's kind of weird. I don't know what that would ever look like. I don't know if you'd ever see anything, because nowadays they never take X-rays of skulls. They do CAT.
Yeah. Right.
And not that this episode has any logic, but what would be the logic of giving a girl you like an X-ray of your brain? Is that just to show how smart he is? Or
I think that was in lieu of jokes.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We have nothing funny, but we have this X-ray prop.
What it seemed like to me, it was like, okay, we can't write a joke, so we'll give him like a little prop shtick, and that'll be it.
I mean, Gallagher did 13 specials on that. I don't have any jokes, so here's these props.
Here's the props.
I got a lot of watermelons, but nope. Oh god. Yeah.
And by the way, earlier in scene 2 of this first act, we not only got Jennifer coming in to drink orange juice, but we got Jennifer coming in drinking orange juice wearing overalls. It was quite satisfying a moment for me as a Family Ties viewer.
Totally.
It was like a throwback. And we get the throwback to like Mallory's Little House on the Prairie dresses too that she wears.
Yes, when she brings Jennifer in her date dress, it was a little bit of a little doily bib on her, and it was, oh, wow, that's Little House on the Prairie, that's Mallory shtick.
Yep. So Jennifer completely rejects Eugene. Eugene, I'm just not into you, and he leaves, heartbroken. And that's when Alex makes a deal with Jennifer that he to go out on one date with Eugene, and he bargains her to I think $15.75.
Right. And that's
That was
not
a funny bit.
acting comedy business. I thought that Michael J. Fox and Tina Yothers, they were funny and the quick repartee.
Thought they handled it quite well.
It was really, really funny. I liked it a lot. Yeah. And so Jennifer agrees, and we cut to the following evening.
Living room, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, this is when Ellen comes over, right?
Right.
Yep.
Right. Thank God Tracy Pollard's in this episode.
Yeah, but this is the act break, so we should probably take a commercial now.
Oh, all right. Yeah, we'll keep this surprise of the things that I wrote about Ellen until after the commercial break.
Guys, Ellen's coming after the break, okay?
We'll be right back. And we're back. All right, so here are the notes that I have.
All right, let's hear it.
Look right there. It says, Ellen. Oh my God.
So hot.
And I have Ellen, so cute.
The jeans jacket with the turtleneck sweater. Oh.
It was adorable. Absolutely adorable.
So adorable.
You know, I hope someday Tracy Pollan does hear this so that she can hear three relatively middle-aged men. Well, two middle-aged men and one senior. So says Benny's. Middle-aged men and one senior rhapsodize about how cute Tracy Pollan was in 1985.
Oh, she's so cute.
I feel like she's got to be appreciative of that, right? She's not going to think that that's creepy.
No,
I don't think she's creepy. I think she would be appreciative of it, especially in retrospect, 30 years later.
Right.
Yeah. And I think we've made some very sophisticated remarks about Tracy Pollan. Like, we love her acting. We love just her presence. Like, she makes every scene so much better.
Absolutely. She certainly made the second act work a lot better than the first because she wasn't in the first.
Right. And let's face it, and there's really no reason for Ellen to be in this episode.
And there is none. And she was really cute in this first scene when she was getting grilled, when she and Alex were both getting grilled by Stephen and Elise together. And she sort of chimed in, backing Alex up. And I thought, oh, that's really cute because you knew you were lying. And Alex knew he was lying. And Stephen and Elise probably knew they were lying. And yet she was going to stick with Alex's bullshit story.
Yeah, and she's got this little subtext of, yep, that's my boyfriend. Yeah.
Exactly.
So cute.
Cute scene. She made it work.
Yeah. All right, so yes, we are going to go on this double date. Eugene comes over. Jennifer and Mallory come down. Jennifer is wearing a throwback to Mallory's Little House on the Prairie dresses. And they are going to go to a 20th anniversary of some professor's tenure at the college.
I think it was the same professor that he was having trouble with, Professor Jenkins.
That's correct.
Absolutely.
Henry,
I'll tell you what, this tenure party is quite the sausage party.
Oh, it is quite the sausage fest, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. It certainly is. Hey, guys, Henry's here.
Hey, Henry.
Hi, Henry.
Say hi. Hi. We're talking about child prodigies. Are you a prodigy?
Did he say no?
I think he said no.
Oh no, Henry, you buck up. I'm sure you're preternaturally talented at something. I only have seen you once in like a month, so
that's true.
I don't know what the topic is, but I'm sure you are a prodigy.
With a fly swatter, it appears as though he is really, really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. He's, swatting the flies around and everything. Hold on. I'll just move this way. Sorry, my wife is moving into the room.
No.
I'm going to move out here.
Oh,
sorry about the interruption, guys. Let's pick it up.
That our fan Taylor says hello to Henry.
Oh, Henry. Our fan Taylor says hello. Can you say hello, Taylor? No. Sorry, Taylor.
He's playing hard to get. Sorry, Taylor.
Taylor, he does not represent the production of Quality Time with Family Ties.
The opinions expressed
by Henry are completely separate from anything else. But let's talk about this party, guys. The sausage fest that is this party. It's why? Like, I feel so sorry for Jennifer throughout this whole entire thing.
Well, I guess my big question is, this is not the first time that Gary David Goldberg has gone for a very Tony, Anglo-looking, white person, snooty kind of club.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the little Jewish boy inside of him who thinks, wow, this is what everybody wants to be, a member of this really white old man club with pipes and smoking jackets, and this is what the Jewish kid from Brooklyn wants to aspire to. And yet I'm looking at it and going, it looks like a bunch of stuck-up white people with sticks up their asses, and they're not very interesting.
Yeah, nothing about it looks fun.
Yeah, it's weird. Gary David Goldberg seems to be the only person who watched Caddyshack and was like, "Ooh, I wonder how I can get on that yacht."
I wanna go to Bushwood. Hold on. Yes, bud, my prodigy. No fight right now. He wants to challenge me. Henry is challenging me to a duel at the moment.
Oh no!
My money's on Henry, by the way.
Yeah, he's pretty. Like I said, he's a prodigy. He's a prodigy. But yeah, guys, and so basically what happens during this scene is Eugene starts introducing Jennifer as his better half, as I think he said, like, what does the other say? He says something like along the line, almost like my girlfriend or the woman in my life.
Right.
Is how he described her. Yeah. Which, again, very presumptuous first date, Eugene.
Here's the thing. We didn't get to say this at the top of the show, but when he's all upset about the fact that he never has gone out on a lot of dates or any dates or whatever, he's 13 and a half. What 13-year-old is going out on dates? It's already a weird situation.
And what 13-year-old wants to describe their girlfriend as, like, their better half, the woman in like it's weird. It's just child prodigies creep me out. They're like my second biggest fear next to clowns.
So you want Henry to be a prodigy, but he also scares you. This is very Oedipal, Scott Jones.
Okay, so it all goes back to when I was 5.
I'd never been out on dates back when I was 5, and so I had a complex.
Kids were making fun of me, but I thought I was smart. Yeah. But yeah, and so Jennifer, of course, gets really fed up with this.
As she should.
As she should.
He was treating her very poorly.
Right. And she really is trying to be a good sport about this. She's in a boring, stuffy party that she doesn't want to be at with a weird kid being introduced as the old ball and chain. And so...
What does that even mean? I never understood that expression. Is that something that people said at some point? Or?
I think so, yeah.
All right.
They referred to their woman as the old ball and chain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, now I'm tied down.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, you're tied down. Yeah. And so Jennifer just starts being herself. She describes it. It's neat and cool, and, she acts like a 13-year-old kid, and Eugene cannot stand it.
And she's actually being kind of funny because she's, like, sarcastic when he's trying to talk to a younger couple with Jennifer, and they're talking about a paper that they've just said, some policy thesis or something, and she's like, oh, the last book I read was Nancy Drew, and the woman is kind of, like, laughing about it, and so it's all, Jennifer is, like, holding her own and able to hang with these older people, but it's him that is the problem throughout.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. He gets more and more insecure to the point where he has a total temper tantrum breakdown in the middle of the party. Oh, my God.
There's a guy behind him, but there's a guy behind him with the way that his mustache is graying, looks like a Hitler mustache.
It does look like a Hitler mustache. I did a double take.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Yeah, Henry has more restraint than Eugene in this scene.
Oh, absolutely.
It's so, um, Eugene gets embarrassed, runs out, and we cut back to the Keaton living room, and Steven has a bunch of graphs.
It's B-Plot Central. Here we go.
Yeah. Here we are. We've
Corey.
already had old-timey adding machine. Now we have graphs.
Yeah. Corey, what annoyed me the most was that he's made 3 different graphs. How much money was spent making these graphs?
Stationery bill for Stephen Keaton, $32. We can't afford that. He's been 15 cents here and 15 cents there.
Yeah.
I got to tell you a story. My wife uncovered this. When I was just graduated from college and I had come out here to LA, I was intent upon making a budget for myself and sticking with it, which is the only time in my life I've ever done that. And Susanna found this tiny little journal that I kept. And what did it say?
Coffee, 50 cents.
Coffee, 50 cents.
Mets news, $1.25.
$1.25 for a baseball magazine.
Mugging, $5.
Mugging, $5.
No.
My journal as money that I spent.
You set aside. Wait, you
No,
were
no.
mugged, or you
I
set
was-
aside
I-
money to be mugged?
I was
if you
entering
got mugged.
in my journal every penny that I was spending. So if I was spending money on coffee, I would put it down, coffee 50 cents. But when I was mugged, they wrote that mugged $5.
That's amazing. Now, Corey, when they mugged you, how is that possible? In LA, there's nowhere, you're always just in your car, right?
In a carport, in an underground parking.
Wow. Were you
Wow.
okay? Was everything all right?
No, they kicked the shit out of me. They beat me up.
Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
Corey. Oh, Christ.
Well,
Oh.
Corey, why didn't you itemize your hospital bill then?
That wasn't a...
I don't think I ever received any treatment. I just got one little kick, and that was a gun to my head.
Jesus Christ, that's terrifying.
Oh,
Oh,
Corey.
it was terrifying. But it was 40 years ago, so it's easy for me to talk about it now.
You've processed it.
I dealt with it very well.
Well, at least you only lost $5. That's nice.
Right. That's it. Yeah.
I'm sure that month you were okay. Were you
Yes,
you in the green?
I was fine.
Yeah.
No, I was doing okay.
Good.
But by the way, Elise says something about Steven's graphs too. She goes, "Well, at least they kept you busy for the last 3 weeks." Well, why did he kept busy for the last 3 weeks? Doesn't he have a good job anymore?
He spent 3 weeks on those graphs.
That's what she said. At least he's kept you busy for the last 3 weeks.
Yeah. And then the logic that they deploy, because each graph has a different finding of how they're doing. It's like there's a conservative, a moderate, and a liberal of they're behind, they're on the money, or they have a surplus. And so
Right.
what kind of math is he doing? They should bring Eugene in to tutor Steven.
There you go. Now you can connect the A plot to the B plot.
Yeah.
Well, and then we have Eugene. Once they discover that all the graphs are all wrong, Eugene comes over, heartbroken, embarrassed, and the only thing narcissist Alex cares about is can he still tutor him to get that one extra point. To which I love Tracy Pollan in this scene,
Mhm.
steering him on the right course. Look, he needs a friend right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's really great.
Well, I was good because, we always criticize the fact that I think the writers undermine our love for Alex P. Keaton by writing him to be narcissistic and petulant and all these other terrible traits. It's a
Right.
lot better when you have Tracy Pollan loving him and telling him, you're being a bad person right now. And you know what? That's what we say as a viewer. We're saying, Alex, you're being a bad person right now. And if she's telling him he's a bad person and still loves him, then it makes Alex a lot more acceptable to us.
Oh, that's
Absolutely.
Totally.
Absolutely. And yeah, basically they both Alex and Ellen give him the advice. It's like, it's gonna be okay. You're gonna be all right. And then
Mhm.
Jennifer comes down, and she confesses that the one thing she liked about the evening was when he had the breakdown. Like he actually acted like a teenager, a preteen. I'd say he acted way younger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This scene for me just completely went off the rails.
Yeah.
It's a mess. And for her to be like, you know what my favorite part was when you were screaming and crying? That's weird.
That is weird.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they do belong together.
Yeah. And then, so Alex, so they have their cute little earnest scene of talking to each other and hashing out their differences, and then he's like, so you want to go get a soda? And she's all excited, and they're about to get soda.
Right.
The problem that I have is, at this point, Gary David Goldberg is so in love with Michael J. Fox that they have to bring him back to give him the punchline for the episode.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
It doesn't make any sense. It's just like, well, I'm happy you two are going to get soda.
Hey, everybody, remember I exist. Credits.
Remember, I'm the reason for this show. Boom.
It's too bad, because I think he and Tina Yothers, in the scene that they have together, have chemistry.
Yeah.
Sure.
This episode was weird and didn't work at all.
No.
And you're just, again, repeating this theme throughout. Like, they really want you to know the theme of this season is love for the Keaton kids.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's, yeah.
You know what? Every time we have a terrible episode, I'm gonna ask us, what's your favorite part of this terrible episode?
Okay, I like that, Paul. I like
right.
that.
So what do you got, Scott? What's yours?
Ellen,
so cute.
Ellen.
Definitely Ellen's jean jacket and sweater. Yep, I agree.
Yep. See? There's always a silver lining, Paul. Thank you for showing us that. Well, guys, I think we covered everything. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Let's get the hell out of here.
Let's get the hell out of here, please.
Hopefully next
God.
week we'll have a better episode to watch, because season 4, in my opinion, has been great so far. This is just one misstep.
It's an improvement, absolutely. So be sure to rate and review our show on iTunes, and for questions and comments, email us at qualitytimewithfamilyties@gmail.com. Be sure to follow us on Twitter as well at QTWFT for updates, and you can also follow each of us. I'm at Follow Jones.
I'm at Paul Packler.
I'm at Corpep.
And be sure to like our Facebook page as well. We'd like to thank our host and producer, Barbara Dillon at Fanbase Press. Fanbase Press is a comic book publisher and online community supporting other creators and fans through daily reviews, interviews, and podcasts that span the pop culture spectrum. Be sure to check out everything that they do at fanbasepress.com. We also like to thank Perry Adams, who beautifully performs the Family Ties theme song Without Us. Check out all of Perry's music at perryadams.com. Also, Bryant Dillon, who created our fantastic drawing and artwork and as well edits our show. Bryant is the president and co-founder of Fanbase Press, so follow him at Comic Book Slayer. And also, Sean Foster, Fanbase Press's graphic designer, for designing our logo. Thank you, everybody, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.